中国文化具有丰富的物质和精神价值，千百年来未曾改变。我们通过创意展示，为您带来中国文化的精髓。徐梵澄，现代玄奘。
XuFancheng, the Xuanzang of modern times. A philosopher, translator, painter, and one of the most well-known Indo-sinologists the world has ever known.
一位哲学家、翻译家、画家，世界著名的中国和印度的学者。
XuFancheng was born on October 26, 1909 in Changsha, Hunan province of China.
徐梵澄，1909年10月26日生于湖南长沙，世界著名的中国和印度的学者。
He was taught by the student of the late Qing dynasty Confucian scholar Wang Kaiyun, and he was mentored by Lu Xun in his early life.
他师从晚清著名儒家学者王凯运，早年受到鲁迅的指导。
Chairman Mao was XuFancheng's geography teacher.
毛主席是徐梵澄的地理老师。
He was among the first Chinese who studied the art of wood engravings. Lu Xun mentioned many times about XuFancheng in his diary.
他是最早研究木版画艺术的中国人之一。鲁迅在日记中多次提到徐梵澄。
He was well versed in 9 languages, which included Chinese, both simplified and traditional, English, German, French, Sanskrit, Hindi, Latin, and Greek.
他精通中文简繁体、英文、德文、法文、梵文、印地文、拉丁文、希腊文等9种语言。
He was a versatile scholar, as well as a great painter. He had an in-depth study of Chinese culture, Indian culture, and Western culture.
他是一位多才多艺的学者，也是一位伟大的画家。他对中国文化、印度文化和西方文化有着深入的研究。
XuFancheng translated 50 Upanishads in Chinese. He was the first Chinese scholar who systematically represented the great Upanishads in Chinese.
徐梵澄译著50奥义书，他是第一个系统的用中文代表奥义书的中国学者。
XuFancheng translated Nietzsche's philosophy, also Sprak, Zarathustra, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Confucianism, Kalidasa's Meghdutta, and several of Sri Aurobindo and Mother Mira Alfasa's works into Chinese.
徐梵澄将尼采的哲学《查拉图斯特拉如是说》、薄伽梵歌、儒家思想、切里达萨行云使者以及奥洛宾多和米拉阿尔法萨的多部著作翻译成中文。
He compared Sanskrit to Changsha dialect from a phonological point to demonstrate the influence of Buddhism on native languages in China and cultural exchange and assimilation between China and India, providing new approaches and aspirations for India-China cultural studies.
他从音系学角度将梵文与长沙方言进行了比较，论证了佛教对中国本土语言的影响以及中印文化的交流与融合，为印中文化研究提供了新的途径和思路。
In his works, XuFancheng adopted an original style of Lisao and Chinese poetry by composing his own poems on the basis of the original meaning.
在他的作品中，徐梵澄在本意的基础上创作了自己的诗歌，采用了《离骚》和中国诗歌的原始风格。
The manuscript of the Bhagavad Gita was collected by the National Library of China.
手抄本《薄伽梵歌》的原稿被中国国家图书馆名家文库收藏。
XuFancheng came to India in 1945 at Shantiniketan to teach Buddhism and lived a period of 33 years in India.
1945年，他作为一位学者到印度泰戈尔国际大学讲学，在印度生活了33年。
He traveled to Pondicherry in 1951. Mother Mira Alfaza, a French spiritual saint known as the Mother, gave him shelter at Pondicherry.
1951年，他前往本地治理，被称为母亲的法国精神圣人米拉阿尔法萨在本地治理给他照顾与帮助。
XuFancheng continued his works for a period of 27 years at Pondicherry, where he translated many of the philosophical books written by Sri Aurobindo and the Mother.
徐梵澄在本地治理继续他的作品长达27年之久，在那里他翻译了奥罗宾多和圣母米拉阿尔法萨所著的许多哲学著作。
He was also a Chinese painter and calligrapher. More than 500 Chinese paintings can be found at Pondicherry.
他还是一位中国画家和书法家，在本地治理可以找到500多幅中国画。
After the demise of Mother Mira Alfaza, XuFancheng returned back to China in 1978 and continued as a researcher and professor at the Research Institute of World Religions of the Chinese Academy of Social Science.
在母亲米拉阿尔法萨去世后，1978年，徐梵澄回国，在北京中国社会科学院世界宗教研究所任研究员、教授。
In his journey from Pondicherry, India to Beijing, China, XuFancheng was helped by a noble-hearted Chinese person named Xiao Jiayu Ramana. Xiao Jiayu lives in India and is in his 80s, who promotes India-China cultural relations from the deepest of his heart.
在从印度本地治理到中国北京的旅途中，徐梵澄得到了一位品德高尚的中国人的帮助，他叫邵家游，梵文名 Romana。 邵家游先去印度，80多岁，为推动印中文化关系一直在奉献。
XuFancheng taught many scholars and renowned persons, which includes Ambassador Luo Zhaohui, who was the former Chinese ambassador to India and China's vice foreign minister.
徐梵澄教授过许多学者和知名人士，其中包括前中国驻印度大使、中国外交部副部长罗兆辉。
Beijing, March 6, 2000. XuFancheng expired, leaving behind his great legacy with many of his finished and unfinished works in the field of spiritual philosophy. A 16-volume edition of his complete works was published in 2006.
2000年3月6日，徐梵澄逝世，留下了他在精神哲学领域的许多已完成和未完成的作品。他的16卷全集于2006年出版。
In 2018, an international symposium on XuFancheng was held at Pondicherry, inaugurated by Ambassador Luo Zhaohui. The event was participated by many prominent scholars, such as Councillor Zhan Jianxin, Professor Huang Xinchuan, Professor Huang Xianyan, Professor Priyadarshi, Professor Nirmala Sharma, Professor Sharad Joshi, and various notable speakers addressed the audience.
2018年，徐梵澄国际研讨会在本地治理举行，由中国外交部副部长、中国驻印度大使罗兆辉主持开幕。参加此次活动的有中国驻印度大使馆文教参赞张建新、黄新川教授、黄夏年教授、布迪亚德施教授、尼德马拉塞德马教授、塞拉德焦什教授等多位知名学者参加，多位著名演讲者向观众致辞。
December 27, 2018, China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi and India's External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj inaugurated the book Essays in Memory of XuFancheng.
2018年12月27日，中国外交部长王毅与印度外长斯瓦拉杰共同为纪念徐梵澄国际研讨会文集揭幕。
On 26th October 2020, XuFancheng Culture Study Center was officially inaugurated by Ambassador Sun Weidong.
2020年10月26日，中国驻印度大使孙卫东为徐梵澄文化学习中心正式揭牌。
XuFancheng once said that if you want to see how Lao Tzu's philosophy is put into practice, you should come to Pondicherry and have a look.
徐梵澄曾经说过，你若是想要看到老子的哲学是怎样被实践的，你就应该来本地治理看一看。
XuFancheng was one of the great Chinese-Sanskrit scholars in the modern history of India, China, and Western cultural relations.
徐梵澄是印度、中国和西方文化关系近代史上最伟大的汉梵学者之一。
Today, in the field of India-China relations, he is regarded as the greatest cultural bridge between India and China, and also known as the Modern Xuanzang.
今天在印中关系领域，他被视为印中之间最伟大的文化桥梁，也被称为现代玄奘。
Thank you for watching. Remember to like, share, and comment.
谢谢您的观看，记得点赞、分享和评论哦。